Hey guys, ClayRepairs here. Today we're going to be doing a top end rebuild on the Warrior 350. In a previous video I adjusted the valve clearances to try to keep this thing from smoking so much, but it really didn't do anything at all. So in today's video we're going to be taking off the whole top end here. We're going to be lapping the valves and replacing the valve stem seals to try to make the valve seat a little bit better to raise the compression and keep this thing from smoking so much because it's burning a bunch of oil. The first thing we'll be doing is removing the carburetor here because it's attached to the head through this intake boot, so I'll probably take those two bolts off and pull this carburetor off. And after that we can do this bolt right across here which holds the head to the frame. Right now let's just get this carburetor and intake boot off and go from there. There we go, got both of these little Allen bolts out holding on this boot. Now the carburetor is pretty much free right there, except for the throttle cable. Okay, there we go, that's the carburetor right there. Still attached by the throttle cable, but I think it's okay. We'll just go ahead and set this aside, still attached, and call that good. Okay guys, so I ended up just hanging my carburetor up over the handlebars and taking a little piece of wire and just tying it to the handlebar here so it doesn't fall down. I ended up disconnecting my throttle cable too. That way I have enough room to loop this up around here and connect to the carburetor. And also just keeps it from falling down. And I just don't feel like completely disconnecting it because I'm going to have to put it right back anyways. So, you know, saves a little bit of time and why not? Now if I look in the intake port, actually it looks pretty clean in there to be honest. I mean, there's not a whole bunch of gunk in there and I'm actually surprised. I thought it'd be worse based on what the intake tube here looks like. Okay guys, the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and take off this timing chain cover right here. Inside there is the cam chain sprocket, which we'll need to take off to get the head off. And the head here is held on by these two bolts down here, these little Allens. And then 4 bolts up here, 1, 2, and then back there, there's a third one and a fourth one. And after that, then we'll probably either do these bolts right here, or that bolt right there, and take the whole head right off. Guys, we just about got everything off. We got this cam chain sprocket off. The cam chain just hanging here by this little wire. I got these 4 head bolts off, these 2 side head bolts right here, and we're just about ready to take this head off. Okay guys, this head is almost off. It's just kind of loose, just sitting there. And the last thing to do was I got this exhaust flange unbolted right here. So this exhaust is loose, but we just need to unbolt it right here at this clamp and slide this exhaust off. And then hopefully the head should come right off. And there we go right there, the head is off. Okay, and right there is our piston and our head gasket. And now I'm thinking instead of just replacing just the valve guide seals and putting it all back together, might as well do the rings and just get a whole new piston and everything for this. Just hone the cylinder, because, I mean, it's literally right there, so we might as well. So now I'll go ahead and take this off, and I'll take a peek and see what the cylinder wall looks like, see how badly it's grooved, or what the deal is with that. Okay, and inside here it actually looks pretty clean, so I think we're actually good just to go ahead and get new piston rings, and just call that good. I don't think we're going to need to split the case or do anything like that, because that's just a whole nother big headache. So it'll probably be a little while until I video next, because we'll have to order a bunch of parts, all that kind of new stuff. We don't have a hone, we don't have a valve spring compressor, need new piston rings, all that kind of stuff. So I'll get back to you in a week or two and we'll get going on installation. Okay guys, it's been a while since I last recorded. I ordered a bunch of parts from eBay and Rocky Mountain. They should be coming in a couple days, but until then, let's get tearing down this head. We'll take off the rocker arms here, get the valves off, and we'll end up lapping these valves with this valve grinding compound I got right here. So take the rocker arms out. It looks like there's 2 pins, one right there, and they're threaded. So I'll go ahead and screw a bolt into there and see if I can pull them out. And there we go right there. Finally, we got this out. And finally, there's the intake rocker arm. The next thing we're going to be doing is taking out the valves. And before you take out your valve compressor tool, it helps a ton to give each valve a little tap with the hammer, just to jar them loose. So without further ado, let's get going on this. Okay guys, we got both these retainers out with this magnet on the stick here, really handy. Now we're going to go ahead and uncompress this valve and pop it out. And there's valve springs right there. Press out the valve. And there we go. Okay guys, now with the rocker arms, shafts, and valves out, only thing left to do is just wait for parts to come, sadly. Some of the parts came in here. We got our hone right here. We got our new piston with the rings, wrist pin, and clips all in there. We got a nice little feeler gauge. We got a gasket kit and our valve guide seals, along with some assembly lube when you put everything back together. But for right now, let's go take those old valve guide seals out and put these brand new ones in. And there we go, we got the intake one out and just popped right off with the pliers. And there's the exhaust one. Now time to put in the new ones, and theoretically they should just press right on there, but we're about to find out. Looks like that's on there to me pretty good, so let's go ahead and put the other one on. And there we go, there's the second one, just that easy. Okay guys, finally the last of our parts came in. We got our brand new rocker arms here, along with brand new bearings and a camshaft. One thing is, I'm not sure if we'll be replacing this bearing because it's awful hard to get into there and I have no idea how I'd pull that bearing in there out. But before we can do all that, we have to install our rocker arms here. I forgot to get new pins, so we'll just be reusing these old ones. We'll turn them 180 degrees, that way the side that got grooved the most is on the other side, and the fresh edge that doesn't have a groove is the side that the rocker arm rides most on. So let's go ahead and try to get these installed here. And just remember, the whole time we're doing this, we'll be using some of this assembly lube I got and just putting it on all the parts as we put it back together so it's not running dry when we first start it up. Okay, and there we go. The intake rocker arm is in there, and it moves nice and freely, so that's good. I just lined up the pin right there in that hole, held the rocker arm in place while I took a hammer and just lightly tapped on it, and it just really went right in. After it got flush with right here, so I couldn't hit it anymore, I took a little nut driver that was the right size that could fit in this hole here, and just held it there and hit it with the hammer. This one here looks good, so we'll leave it alone and move on to the exhaust rocker arm. And I almost forgot, before we get any further, I want to try and lap these valves with this compound that I got here. I'll go ahead and clean out both of these valves here with a wire brush, just get most of this loose carbon off. I already did this one, got most of that loose carbon off there. I'll also go ahead and do this one, and then we'll go ahead and try to lap those valves. Okay guys, I just tried lapping the exhaust valve here, and it actually wasn't too bad. I don't even have a suction cup tool to spin this, and I've got a pretty good valve seat on there. So now I'll do the intake valve. Just dabbing a little bit of the compound around the edge, pushing it in there, and just spinning it around a whole bunch until it sounds good to me. Okay, we got some compound on there and got it shoved in here. Now we're just going to spin it a bunch until the sound changes and I feel like it's gotten smooth. Okay, well after a bunch of grinding, I think both of these valves look pretty darn good. Those seats look pretty nice. And on the head here, both of those look pretty nice as well. So I think we'll just go with that and get back to reassembling this. Next thing I think I'll do is try to get this camshaft put in here. So guys, I just realized the camshaft can't be in when you're putting the valve springs in because the rocker arms need to move all the way up to the top position. And they can't do that with the camshaft in. We're taking this back out and we'll put it in after we get the valve springs and valves all in place. Now back to the valves here. Now we can go ahead and slide these springs on here while pushing the valve up. Okay, we got these valves compressed down pretty tight, and I think it's enough room to slip these little retainers in. Okay, I think we got those little retainers in there good. Just put a little bit of that assembly lube, which is kind of tacky, and just squished them in there and they actually stayed. And there we go, it just kind of fell apart, so I think that's it. It appears as though this valve is in here pretty good, so we'll go ahead and move on to the next one. I'll speed that up because I already showed you guys how to do it. Okay, now that both of those valves are in, we're finally ready to put the camshaft back in. I already got the bearing mostly tapped on here, not quite all the way. I got this lubed up with a bit of assembly lube on here. Got this bearing most of the way tapped on, but it still needs to go a little bit farther. But I think we'll leave it like that for right now and try to go assemble this in there. Okay, we got that camshaft in there, the bearing in, and it's secured. Okay, next thing we're going to be doing is honing the cylinder. We got some good old 30 weight oil there, and I put a good coat of it inside the cylinder. And as we hone it, we'll want to make sure to keep a good coat on the inside of the cylinder and make sure it doesn't run dry. Basically what we'll do is we'll take this hone right here, put it in the chuck of a drill, and slowly run this thing back and forth while keeping it lubed up with oil. We'll only do this just a couple times until we have some crosshatch marks in there instead of the up and down marks, and we'll call that good. So let's go ahead and do it. Okay, now back over to the quad. We'll be working on taking this piston out right now. We'll take both the little clips out on either side for the wrist pin, tap the wrist pin out, and pull this piston out. Okay guys, now we got this old piston off here. It doesn't look like it's in too bad a shape, but I already went ahead and got a brand new one. And they look just about the same, which is good. And it came with rings, wrist pin, and clips. So we'll go ahead and put these rings on in the exact same order that they're on the stock piston. Okay guys, I got the rings on here. Got those two little tiny rings sandwiching the oil ring right there. We got the big fat one and the skinnier one. And I made sure to put the gaps opposite, so that gap is right there. And then that gap is right there, just like how you want it. Now with the wrist pin and clips, we're going to go ahead and install it on the engine. Okay guys, I just set this piston down on here and the wrist pin just pushed right in real nice and smooth. I got this side clip in, and we'll go ahead and put the next side clip. And it actually went pretty smooth. All I did is just stuck this clip up top and then used that little notch right there with a screwdriver to kind of pry it in. There we go, that one just popped right in there too. Nice and easy. Okay, now that we got the piston in here, the next thing to do is clean up this surface around here and get the new gaskets out and try to get this thing put back together. The harder part will be trying to get that sleeve shoved over the piston here, but I think we'll be able just to do it by hand. This whole cylinder sleeve and everything went on real nice. All I had to do is just compress the rings a little bit with my hand, and the bottom of it is tapered a little bit, so the piston just kind of shoves up in there. And as long as you make sure that gasket in there is aligned, and you've got these on the bottom to help line it up, then you're good. Made sure the cam chain would come on through here, and next up is the head itself. Okay guys, as you can see, I got the head plopped back on there. So make sure you get those two front bolts in, line it up, plop it down, and make sure to pull the cam chain through. And after that, we're just going to go ahead and torque these bolts down. Okay guys, I got the head back on here. The bolts are all torqued down in a crisscross pattern like that. Next thing to do is get this cam chain up and get the sprocket on there. Get the cam chain worked around the sprocket and all that put back together. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay guys, I accidentally didn't have my camera running, but it actually wasn't that hard. All I had to do is just kind of hold on to this cam gear and just kind of hold it down a little bit while I fed the chain over the top. I had to redo it a couple different times and like work the chain around because you want to make sure this mark lines up with that mark right there to make sure that your timing is correct. And also you have to make sure your engine's top dead center by looking through the plug and making sure the T's right there. With that top dead center and those two marks lined up, we know our timing's all good. So we can go ahead and put some orange thread lockers, what I got, for that cam bolt. Put the tensioner back in and spin around the engine to make sure it spins freely. And after that, we can put our carb back on and get going on the rest of the bike. Okay guys, I got everything torqued down. This got torqued down to 43 foot-pounds, and the head bolts here got torqued to 29. And you can't really torque Allen bolts very easily, so I just give those a couple grunts and call that good. And next thing to do is check the valve clearances here. I think I got it pretty close, but we're just going to do a final check and tighten these down, put the covers on, and get everything buttoned up. Okay guys, I got the carburetor back on, and we're just about ready to go. I've got the exhaust back on, and we're pretty much ready to go. Only thing I have left to do is just make sure everything is hooked up correctly and throw the gas tank on. I'll go ahead and wait until tomorrow just to let this thread locker dry before I go ahead and start it up. Okay guys, it's been a day since we last filmed. I think the thread locker has had time to set, and we're ready to do our first start. I'll go ahead and crank it over with the spark plug wire off just to make sure it cranks over smoothly with no issues. Then I'll go ahead and start it and just basically idle it up to temperature and shut it off and let it cool down. After it cools down, I'll go ahead and take it out for a ride, just kind of try not to go over about 1/2 or 3/4 throttle. I'll do an oil change and then I'll cool it back down. And after that, I've heard that's pretty much the end of the break-in cycle, other than just doing an early oil change and filter in the next couple hours of riding. Anyways, let's get right to it. It's been about 2 weeks since I did the engine rebuild. Put a couple hours on it and it's still doing great. I changed oil after that first ride and there's quite a bit of metal in it, but I think that's fine because that's just a break-in period, everything getting broken in like that. I'll tell you guys if there's metal in the next oil change. After a few more hours of riding, I'll do another oil change, but right now we're pretty much good. If this video helped you out, remember to give it a like and subscribe so you don't miss another video like this or an episode in the Project F250 series. And have a great day.